and welcome to your monthly February 2017 masculine feminine reading, love reading. I'm sorry I've been away for the monthlies for a while. I'm now going to be uploading on or around the full moon because I like that time. And I'm filming in a slightly different way, which you shall see. So I have shuffled and put the spread out just now because I'm filming freehand, because it feels better, feels kind of organic. Actually happened because my tripod broke, but now it kind of feels like this is the way that I want to film. Okay, so these are the cards for the masculine and feminine for February to March 2017, the full moon to full moon period. So on the left hand side we have the masculine cards. So the first card for the masculine is the Eight of Pentacles. This is work, career. It is and practical things. It does mean quite literally those things, so work and career and those practical issues. But it is also about kind of working at the relationship or working at things. It's directed, it's kind of building an empire. But there's an enjoyment to it. There's a joy to it, and it's just fun. And he's having a lot of fun doing that. Just building. He really does enjoy just kind of making up those pentacles and stacking them up like that. It's also about making money. I mean, in this card, he literally is making money, making the pentacles. So there is also that involved. I'm going to go straight to this My Divine Love card. So I use the Rider-Waite Centenary Edition deck, which has 2 extra pieces of artwork, which I use and have interpreted as cards. I'm not actually sure if anybody else is using this deck online. They probably are. I'm completely unaware of what other readers are up to. But I was the first to interpret this card publicly. Anyway, I call it My Divine Love card, and for me it is a kind of Jesus, Mary Magdalene figure. It always is. It has that kind of context. Even if you aren't Christian or find Christianity, the story of Christianity resonates with you, it really just is about the divine feminine and divine masculine energies working together. And those doves, in 7 doves, which for me they're kind of like chakra energy centers, which I do find can be useful for a lot of people to work with. When understanding the body, you don't need to, but they can be useful. So for anybody that resonates with, I'm drawn to the red in this card, the red of her dress there. But it's a very, very powerful card, and it's at the crown of the whole spread is that card. And so really, what is he working towards? What is he working for? What is he working at? What's the card that we can see there? It's this. And so the masculine for this period of time really is, that's what he's working for. It's what he's always been working for, but it's pure. It's pure. Very important message there, that it is pure. Okay, so the first card for the feminine on the right hand side here is the Ace of Cups. Just showing you these flowers here. These were gifted to me by a very, 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 very beautiful human being. Just wanted to include those in the reading. So first card, as I said, for the feminine is the Ace of Cups. This is a new beginning, a new start. The Holy Grail, I mean, I'm going to call it that. It just all this kind of religious imagery is coming through for me. And it really is this flow of love which just moves through her, the source of which is kind of beyond her being. But see how the water kind of seems to be, for me, it's kind of both drawn from and flows into that lily pond. So it really is that flow of kind of that love, of that water flowing. The hand that holds that cup out, for me, it is like I call it the hand of God, but it's the support. It's life. It's life supporting her in her love, and I want to encourage feminine sided watchers, viewers, to really allow life to support you in your love. Life. If that makes sense. Just allow yourself to be supported by what is happening around you. The second card for the masculine over here is the Four of Cups. So he feels somehow rejected. And I'm going to say by love itself. And it is a bit as though he doesn't want to give love the attention that it's trying to give him. It's funny, and I am going to kind of associate it with the feminine because it's very similar. You see, there's this kind of hand with the cup, and then there's this hand with the cup over here. So it is a bit as though he is refusing to accept this cup and looking at these other cups in front of him. And there is a kind of stubbornness to it. He's got his hands crossed. He's it's as though love is too or emotion is too impractical for him at the moment because he's so driven by this Eight of Pentacles. It just feels impractical to him, and so he's kind of cutting his nose off to spite his face, as we say. It's like there is this belief that emotion is for this period of time is pretty is incongruent with work. And it's not true, but it's not wrong either for him to behave in that way, because he's working towards something of divine glory. So it's all perfect. The second card for the feminine is the Three of Wands. So she's waiting to receive some kind of news. It feels like it's away. But it is like she, as though, as well, if we read them kind of like this with one another, those two cards, it is as though she's waiting for some news for him, from him, or some message, and the message will come. Whether it's from him or from elsewhere, the message is on its way. And enjoy the process of waiting. There is a waiting energy to that card, to this Three of Wands for me. But it really is about enjoying the anticipation of the arrival. It's a bit like the prodigal son kind of energy. Sorry, all this kind of stuff's coming through. Quite Christian stories and narratives, but it does feel as though there's this kind of wait for the return. And what I can say is that the return is great. So enjoy the process of kind of waiting for the return, and support yourself and allow yourself to be supported by life, feminine, in that period. So the third card for the masculine over here is the Knight of Pentacles. So it's as though the Knight comes to deliver some kind of practical okay, so there's a shift in energy here. So there's a shift in energy from this kind of Eight of Pentacles, Four of Cups. It's like that kind of comes to an end. because the receiving happens with that Three of Wands, with the feminine. And then the Knight of Pentacles comes rushing in, and it feels like he's got some, it's practicalities, practical stuff, and money as well. And he's coming in, but it feels like this is the masculine, like he is playing this character of the Knight of Pentacles, and he comes rushing in with this kind of practical offer of love. And if we go into this Eight of Wands here, we see that that's all about intense attraction and movement forward. It's Cupid's arrow. So this is a kind of Valentine's period reading as well. And there is this kind of message. This is also messages coming in and being received with that 8. So it really is that it comes, this message, but it's not. It's like she's standing there waiting for this one, but it comes. There are 8. It's harder and faster than she thought. What he has to give is a lot bigger than she perceives. And this is a little bit why I feel like he doesn't want to give or receive from her. Because it's a bit like when you're kind of waiting for Christmas and someone's trying to give you your Christmas present early, and you've got this present for them, and it's kind of like, well, no, I want to kind of give you my gift at the same time, and don't give me your gift quite now. But what I can really feel is that this energy in this 8 here of what he is gifting in this card position, which is what he is gifting, the feminine, the energy that he takes to the love, really, the love connection in the middle here, is this Ace of Wands, and it's intense, it's fast, it's big, it's a huge energy, it's speed, it's got a lot, it's so much more to it than I think she thought. And it is that this is kind of what he's been building over here with that 8 there. It hooks up with that 8, 2 8s. And it's creativity, it's passion, it's love, it's longing, it's desire. And it's really, that's what he has for her. And what does she have over here? She's got the ability to juggle. She has the infinity symbol. She has this kind of infinite love. She has the 2 of Pentacles. She kind of knows what to do with that pentacle that he offers. She makes it 2. She makes it more. She multiplies it. She has this multitasking ability with that 2. She has the ability to juggle things. Again, it's also travel, that 2 of Pentacles, you can see. The ship there. The sea looks a bit rough, but that really is just kind of the ups and downs of life. But yeah, she's really juggling and multitasking. And I feel as though he gifts her with this pentacle, and she's able to she gifts him with the ability to juggle things in a way that he can't. But he fuels, he's really kind of offering this creativity to her with that 8 of Wands. And it is sexual as well, sexual attraction that he really offers with that 8 of Wands. So now I'm drawn to the card on the bottom of the deck. Sorry, it's a little bit of a different order as it has been. But the card on the bottom of the deck is the Tower card. So the theme for this monthly period really is the destruction of everything that is not true and is not actually loving or love in action. This is a major arcana card. It's quite a big energy, and it can be quite a big deal. So it's just to kind of relax and be okay. Also, what I'm getting is that you've got to kind of, if something seems to be falling apart, you've got to kind of jump out and get out before the destruction hits. This is not about, okay, so for some people, this is really about whatever relationship you're kind of looking at for this. It's that you've got to kind of let go either of the thoughts you're having about it or of the relationship itself. You've really just got to kind of let it let that destructive power happen. It really is a natural force and a natural thing, to have things be destroyed. Nature destroys all the time to make way for the new. So for some, that is the advice. For others, it really is just about, well, it's the same message, but it's about the destruction of things that aren't love and aren't loving for real, and that aren't true. It really is about letting go of things that aren't true. And if that does feel like it's this relationship, it's really the thoughts that you're having. And if you keep having thoughts that feel bad, they're not true. But maybe you will not be able to see them as not true unless you kind of refocus elsewhere. But really, that's what that Tower card is about. It's about letting things that are not true be destroyed. And it's really your sense of truth. If it feels bad, it's not true. So just let it go. The thought. But if those thoughts keep recurring, then maybe you need to refocus elsewhere. You'll know. Use your intuition. There are no hard and fasts here, apart from in that Eight of Wands. But no, there are no hard and fast rules. It's you really got to feel into it yourself. So the third card for the feminine is the Ace of Swords. She has two aces, so there's lots of new energy coming in, which makes sense after this recent full moon eclipse, which is kind of now-ish when I'm doing this recording. And so that Ace of Swords really is about truth. It's about the truth being born through her, and it's about mental knowing and understanding. So it's a lovely pair with that Ace of Cups, but there really is this kind of mental knowing and understanding and truth which she has, which she realizes, and that does get revealed to her. The truth becomes apparent, and she is patient in her waiting for her ship to come in, and it does. This month, the truth will come out. Anything that is not the truth will be destroyed. Let it be destroyed. The true truth is born. Fourth card for the masculine is Temperance. I'm just going to have a little deeper look into this card. So it feels as though the masculine is being a gentle, calming and balancing force for the feminine in this card, and for himself. And also for his own emotions. It's as though he is able to balance his emotion. It's as though, what I'm going to say is, the feminine with this Ace of Swords, she does understand how to be a vessel for the truth as well when it arises. And I feel as though she has something to say from that Ace of Swords, the truth, to the masculine, which helps him to balance his emotions in amongst this kind of practical work, career stuff. And he feels very soothed and healed and healing. So it's as though the feminine gifts him with that, but he also he is the one standing in it. He is the one whole and smooth and, I'm going to say, kind of healed in it and whole. And definitely towards the end of this monthly period, he feels very fluid in his love. And it's also that there's these two cups working together, and it really does feel as though that angel is working for love and working for the two of us in this form where the love flows through us to be held together in this form. So there is a very united, flowing space here in this Temperance card. It's also that there's this kind of, we're the same but different. It's as though the water's different. The water's the same and the love is the same, but it flows in two different cups. Two different cups of love. But it really does flow between them, and he really finds his balance in that. And the feminine over here, the fourth card she has, is the King of Wands. That's really... He's been popping up quite a lot in the weekly readings, which is available over on Vimeo. And I will speak to you a little bit about that later soon, because there's something very big going on with that this week. But that King of Wands energy is it's creativity. It's quite a masculine, powerful energy, but it really is this creative energy. And she does kind of want to give it to the masculine. It's very fiery, very passionate, very creative. It feels as though the masculine kind of dampens it down a bit, but it needs it. I feel as though it needs tempering, literally, with that Temperance card. Because I feel like this King of Wands feels a little bit too fiery, and that there may be a little bit of anger in there. And I'm not saying, and it's not to not express that. Because I do think that the masculine can take it if the feminine wants to express that. It's very fiery, and and now we just have this root energy, which is just calling the High Priestess. So there's a very powerful feminine force, intuitive, psychic kind of force, which is moving at the root there, which is moving up to the crown with that divine love, which is moving into that divine love energy. So there is this kind of idea of this feminine energy rising into the divine love connection. But I kind of feel as though there's this, that's why this fire in this King of Wands needs to kind of come out. It's the fuel that kind of helps this feminine to rise. And the masculine is very balanced and able here to support that. There's no fear, there's no reaction, it's not reactionary, and it's much bigger. It's a strong energy and a strong force, that Temperance. It can really handle it. So there's just a little message there. So I'm just going to pull an outcome. No. Okay, so the outcome card is the Queen of Cups. Very interesting. We just pull these back. See what I do. Yes, Tower is still on the bottom. So the outcome is the Queen of Cups. So really, this month does really feel quite feminine. And in this feminine, really mastering this being a vessel for true, pure love and for life to move through her in whichever form it kind of wants to turn up. That Queen of Cups, she's my unconditional lover. And it, she knows love, and she is the queen of it. In last week's weekly reading, the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups were there as a pair. And this does feel like a reiteration of that the Queen of Cups is really very, very important in this story at the moment, that she really accepts her sovereignty and accepts herself in this unconditional love that just wants to move through her, and that she is powerful in that. And it really does feel like, yes, this month really is about the feminine really grasping that and becoming queen of love. And then, of course, really it's just about this. And really just letting life take us into this. Not working so hard, not pushing so hard, not trying so hard. The masculine doesn't actually need to work so hard, no. It's all already done, it's all already here. Nothing can sway this. Okay, and so the Rumi for the week is, the month, sorry, number 22. Oops. The lion and the deer. Freehand fun. Beautiful image there. Stunning, stunning imagery on this Alana Fairchild Rumi Oracle. And I am simply, as usual, going to read from this Oracle book. It needs no further interpretation. If something comes afterwards, then I will, of course, give it. But just take this time to relax, chill out, take a few deep breaths, and allow this to kind of wash through you and use you to know itself better. Number 22, the lion and the deer. When you enter the garden of the heart, you become fragrant like the rose. When you fly toward heaven, you become graceful like the angel. If you get burned like oil, you become brilliant. When you become thin like hair in yearning, your joy leads the way. You'll be the kingdom and the king. You'll be in paradise and the guardian angel. You'll be infidelity and you'll be faith. You'll be the lion and you'll be the deer. You are the lion and the deer. You are bold, fierce and vibrant. And you are silent, sweet and gentle. If I should come to you in arrogance, you roar at me until my falsehood quakes in fear, so terrified it gives up the game. And love's conquest happens yet again. If I should come to you in surrendered adoration, open to whatever you may wish, you are so gentle with me. Like a deer, you offer me nothing to fear or resist, so that I too become sweet and gentle, longing to submit to your tender ministrations. So then I do not fear my own errors, for even if I stumble into arrogance, I shall be made wiser by your magnificent roar and become humble. Even if I become weak, I shall draw succour, evoking the tenderness in you. Whatever is needed to keep me true to love, is what you give me. For you are the holy lion, proud and mighty, and the sweet deer, gentle as the mildest breezes of spring. Hello, my old friend. Do you remember me? We are the oldest of friends. Ancient soulmates we are, acquainted over many lifetimes past, and through many lessons learned together in the school of love. So here we meet again, in this advanced spiritual training of the human experience, with the earth as our classroom. The moment is upon us to leave behind what we have once known and to open up to the great mystery of life again. Our souls leapt from the divine oneness through the river of forgetfulness and now dive into a body and a life. What a journey that leap begins. Let us embark on this studious adventure together. Let us honour the tiger and the lamb within each other, the lion and the deer. I can witness in you both the raging warrior who fights with unbreakable honour and the healer who brings together those things torn apart. Of course, for are we not all things? Are we not human and angel, animal and spirit? Are we not heaven and earth? Are we not divine? And in being divine, being all things are divine. So we are here together in the school of love, not for the soul who still adheres to preference instead of curiosity, not for the soul who craves comfort instead of devotion to divine adventure. We must be like lovers, you and I, if we are to take these lessons. We must be willing to become mad with passion, crazy enough to chase the great beloved, even if it means forgetting who we are for a time, to have the sacred delight of rediscovery, breaking some rules and looking like fools. Well, what could be greater than becoming a fool for love? That will do for us. That will do well. Let us be fools for love together. So shall we become study mates? We'll recognise each other, even in all our varied garbs, bright or sombre, wild or gentle. We'll become the most enthusiastic students in the school of love, urging each other on to ever greater feats of passion and devotion. How we shall outdo each other in grand gestures and our unwavering commitment. This oracle brings you a special message. You are rediscovering a part of yourself that has been lost or submerged underneath more practical concerns. Of course, if practicality is about survival, then learning to be your true self is most essential and practical. All other paths lead to death of the soul. You are asked to bear the chaos of this rediscovery. It may be that talents from this or other lifetimes are reawakened and cause you some discomfort at first, even though they will ultimately bring joy and greater fulfillment. The discomfort may be around how those talents are best expressed, about overcoming shame, guilt, doubt, or other judgments. It may be even about who you are, if you now admit your talent or other emerging personality traits. Perhaps what is being unearthed in you now is darker, your sacred rage, refusal to accept disrespect in your life, your inability to tolerate lies and deceptions. Well then, you are the lion and the deer. That is nature. There is to be both in the world. You are not becoming contradictory or hypocritical. You are becoming whole. The guidance this oracle brings you is that you shall prosper most now if you are willing to unbecome what you have believed yourself to be. It was never really true anyway, that view. It was partial at best, and just a view, an identity, not a genuine reality. Some of your previous sense of self shall likely come with this transition into the fuller experience of your being, and some of that previous identity shall be shed as far too limiting. It just won't feel true for you anymore, if it ever did. Any crisis or confusion this brings you shall be temporary fuel to ignite the divine fires within. They simmer into life, cooking you from within, bringing all of your flavours, spicy and sweet, bitter and sour, into perfect balance so that your being, your presence, becomes an exquisite dish served up as a divine feast. You shall become nourishment for the world in perfect balance. Your being will hold all, for it holds all within it. It will deny nothing, and become a tonic to feed every taste, every appetite, every hunger, and every deficiency. What an extraordinary sublime meal you shall be, how your presence shall nourish the world. And it all begins with shedding the either and the or, and recognizing the all. With such wild permission for unconditional love, you shall thrive in your beingness and feed the hungry world with a meal complete, satisfying, and exquisite. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, Bear witness to my declaration now. I honour the spiritual maturity within me that bestows upon my consciousness this sacred task. I have accepted the fundamental goodness of my being and can now cast aside all notions held of myself and inquire into my wholeness. What nestles alongside this goodness? All, of course. I am unafraid. I honour my heart, and it is big enough to hold all my nature within its graceful light. I witness my darkness with compassion, and I become able to dance with all of my being, light and dark, in graceful acknowledgement of my divine wholeness. The gentle acceptance of all of me now brings peace. This acceptance allows the divine to live fully through me as a vessel for the great mysterious plan unfolding upon the earth. With reverence, grace, and surrender, so be it. Sit quietly for a few moments and gaze at the image upon the card. Notice the colours, the interplay of light and dark that create the one beautiful image. This represents you. All light and all dark would have no art at all remaining, only extremes. It is in the interplay of light and dark that enables the living art in progress, your soul, to come most fully to life. When you are ready, simply say thank you. And that Rumi card really is at the core of everything that I believe and of what I believe love is, which is everything. And if you are love, then you too are everything. The link to the weekly Vimeo reading, which I wholeheartedly encourage you to rent for a year and to watch, has within it a coupon code for my retreat. A very big reduction for the people that that fight for me and this work. And I'm going to say that because I fight for your love and your dream every day, every second of every minute of every day. I give my life to you and your desire and your love and who you are. I want to invite you on this retreat with me to help me to show you how. So details for that will be below, and a coupon code for a very, very large reduction is in the weekly Vimeo, which I also want you to watch and be guided and loved with and through. So I invite you there. If you don't want to come with me, don't. It's not for everyone. Well, it is for everyone, but not if you don't want to. And I love you as you are. I thank you so much for sharing this time and space with me, for receiving these messages, and for loving me as you do, and I love you too. See you again in a week. Lots of love.